This book kind of exposed me. I realized I don't actually have a proper plan for my next moves. I've got the goals, but I do not have the strategy. And that's kind of dangerous. So, if you've been watching my YouTube, you'd know that I'm trying to create a clothing brand, a record label, and also try and get this channel to grow. Documenting the journey, this is part of it. I think I have a plan, but I don't have a proper plan. I think I know the direction to go in, but I don't really know the steps. If you know me, I love winging stuff. I try to do too many things at once. I get bored easily, probably because there is no structure. And if I'm going to be honest, my actions don't always lead to what I want. So, me personally, I only think maybe about 1 or 2 steps ahead. This book is called The Next 5 Steps. So, and this is something that I've really been lacking. So, the questions I need to start asking myself is, if I do this, what happens next? For example, with the storage unit, I didn't know that was something that I needed to do or wanted to do, but now looking at it in the future, in the long run, it is going to be better for me. If I'm getting more units, more stock, it can't be in my house. And also safety reasons, it can't be in my house. So having that storage unit is just a bit of protection, but also in the long run, it will be better. So I need to start thinking about the outcome and not the actions. Now, one thing that Patrick mentioned in the book was regarded about marketing and having a sales funnel. Now, even though I went to university to study marketing, my marketing knowledge is basically ground zero. I'm not good at it. It's something that I 100% know I need to improve. And I know it's one thing that the business is lacking. So, whilst reading the book and also since the book, I've kind of gone over my website again. There's a few more touches I need to do to make sure that it is where I want it to be. One thing that they mentioned in the book was regarded about email marketing. Now, with email marketing, even though I am quite young, it's not something that I thought, maybe this is something that I need to do. But while I was reading the book and also doing some research because they mentioned about it, I realized that email marketing was quite a big thing. And especially that I do have some subscribers through the website. Why am I not using them to try and draw them down the sales funnel? Me not having the sales funnel set up correctly will hurt me. Even if my marketing was great, I still need to make sure that the rest of the sales funnel is good. Also mentioned in the book was regarding about systems. Now, with systems, I've tried to implement them. I've tried to create an environment, a structure in my life to try and get to the position where I want to be. But you know me, I don't really follow them. So I need to make a structure, something that I'm going to stick to day in and day out, no matter what the results are. If you think about it, when it comes to my marketing, there is no structure with that. With my finance, there's a little bit of structure with that. We're getting there in the right direction. But content wise, with my YouTube, it's mainly just I post what I want. And it's probably the reason why the results are slow. I need to make sure that the consistency is there, a clear message, and a structure in place to make sure one, I can stick with it, but then secondly, to try and actually get some results. Another thing that was mentioned in the book was timing and making moves. So it's not all about just working long hours, working hard as you can. It's also working smart, which you hear quite a lot in this day and age. You need to make sure when to go all in on something and also when to hold back on something. Don't take every opportunity that you see, which is one thing that Warren Buffett has also mentioned as well. And one move can change everything. This book, as you can see here, is based on a lot of chess. If you guys like chess, you know, a lot of smart people play chess and a lot of rich people play it too. The reason for it is literally just the strategic element of chess. That's all it is. That's why people love it. So if there is one thing that I want you guys to take away from this video, minus anything that I've just said before, this is probably the one thing that I'd want you guys to take away, which is the personal audit, which is at the back of this book, which I felt like was the most impactful thing about the whole book in general. Because on the outside, it might not look like I'm taking this seriously yet, which is partly true. Now, I say I want success, but my actions don't always lead to that. So the personal audit was something that I wanted to make sure that I could be honest with myself to see where I am, the direction I want to be, and what I shouldn't be doing. So these are all the questions. You can pause the video if you want. You can write them all down, just so you can have this for later on. And just be honest with yourself. You don't have to share it with anyone. Just be honest with yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, there's no point doing this audit, right? When I did the audit, there was a few things that I realized. I feel like I want more than what I've got. I dream about the life that I really want, but in reality, it all depends on what I actually do daily. So the biggest takeaway that you can all take from this is that move smarter and not harder. Think ahead instead of reacting. Everything is now about the next move. So where you want to be in life, think about how you can get there and take all the little steps, all the little ladders to get there. And I know not everyone likes the idea of documenting, but even if it's only for yourself, document, see where you come from in the year. Some of you guys have seen my first ever video compared to my videos now. I've only done about 33, 34 videos, and there's already a big difference from me talking. So it's something good to look back on. Now, just wrapping up the video, do I think you guys should read this? I think so. It was actually one of the better books I have read, and I really did like this book. Um, is it going to change your life? I don't think the actual book will. I think the personal audit will, because it's a reflection on how you see yourself. So that is definitely the big thing that I learned from this. But I'll give the book around about 7 out of 10. I think every book that you read, if you take one thing away from it, is a positive. But I'm going to wrap up the video here. If you guys have liked the video, like and subscribe, comment down below. If you want to check out some merch, check out the website in the link description, and I'll see you all in the next video.